Hello, my name is Molly Viola. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Financial Operations and Controller for the university. It's my pleasure to share this presentation with you. The information I will share includes an outline of the annual financial statement review process that you will participate in as a member of the Audit Compliance Committee for the next few weeks. I will first share with you a brief background and then walk through the key points of the Audit and Compliance Committee's overview of the financial statement review. The information I am sharing with you today is a set of best practices. They were adopted after briefings from the Office of General Counsel regarding the implications of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act does not apply or govern to the University of Minnesota, the Board of Regents, or the Audit Committee. However, the board previously indicated its desire to identify and adopt best practices that are consistent with the spirit of the Act. The best practices that were recommended and adopted by the Audit and Compliance Committee include reading the financial statements to ensure that they are consistent with your own knowledge of the university activities prior to the issuance to the public. The recommended best practices are memorialized within the Board of Regents policy, board operations, and agenda guidelines. Specifically, Section 4, Subdivision 6C states that the Audit and Compliance Committee shall review in advance of final issuance the proposed formats and wordings of the annual financial report, including the management's discussion and analysis, financial statements, footnotes, statistics, and disclosures. A process has been put in place to guide you through your review, which I will cover next. The first step is today's presentation providing an overview of the financial statement review. This presentation serves as an advanced summary of the upcoming review process. On October 22nd, you will receive a draft annual financial statement for your review. This is a significant step in the review process and is intended to support the Audit and Compliance Committee's oversight responsibilities by giving you an opportunity to ensure that all material information in the report is consistent with the information that you have received or acted upon in your capacity as members of the Board of Regents. The annual report is a large document and contains complex financial information. While we encourage you to read any and all of it, we will also provide you with recommendations for targeted review to help highlight specific financial impacts. You will also be provided contact information for any questions or comments you may have about the report. The report has three major sections. The first is the management's discussion analysis, sometimes referred to as the MD&A. Typically, this is about 10 to 15 pages and is management's opportunity to provide a narrative of the financial statements that enables the readers to understand how the results correlate with our mission and priorities. The next section is the core financial statements for the university, which will include Rubenco. It also includes the University of Minnesota Foundation and the University of Minnesota Physicians as significant component units. The first statement will be the statements of net position. This presents assets and liabilities into current and non-current line item categories. This will include cash and investment, accounts payable, debt, as well as other activity. The statements of financial position for both University of Minnesota Physicians and the Foundation are presented separately. The next will be the statements of revenue, expenses, and changes in net position. This summarizes revenues and expenses by financial statement line items that describe the types of revenues and expenses that the university has experienced during the year. It differentiates between operating and non-operating and displays net income or loss from operations. Again, the corresponding statements for University of Minnesota Physicians and the University of Minnesota Foundation are presented separately. The statement of cash flows is the final statement that you'll see, which summarizes cash flows into cash flow from operating activities, non-capital financing, capital financing, and investment activities. The last major section in the annual statement are the footnotes. These are typically 55 to 60 pages, and this year we expect that there are 16 footnotes. The footnotes provide the reader with additional information about specific types of financial transactions. The disclosures in the footnotes are required by GASB, which is a set of rules that the university uses for accounting. Please note that this report will be marked draft. It is subject to the completion of the audit. It will be the most current set of information available on the date that it's provided. However, our external auditors, Clifton Larson Allen, will still be in the process of completing their audit procedures and review of the report. During the final weeks of the audit, it is possible that some report items, note disclosures, or MD&A commentary may change. It is not anticipated that there will be any material changes. However, if there are any, we will summarize those and share that information with you as soon as those changes are available. Clifton Larson Allen plans to sign off on the annual report by Wednesday, October 29th. To ensure that the Audit and Compliance Committee review is completed within the audit deadlines, please plan on providing questions or comments about the report directly to Regent Verhalen, Lori Stanifer, our Director of Accounting Services, or myself anytime prior to our meeting with the committee chair and vice chair. That meeting will occur on Monday, October 27th. At that time, we will discuss any feedback received and confirm that there are no concerns about finalizing and issuing the report. If we have not received any questions or feedback prior to the meeting, we will assume that there is none and that the report is ready to be finalized. After the report is issued, we will provide a copy of it to the state of Minnesota, and parts of the report are relied upon for other institutional reports, such as the schedule of expenditures for federal awards, NCAA reporting, and other compliance reports. The annual report will also be released publicly after issuance. The finalized report will be discussed with the committee in conjunction with Clifton Larson Allen's required communications at the December meeting. And in addition, it will be an informational item for the Financial Operations Committee. This concludes my presentation, and I look forward to seeing you at the meeting on October 9th to address any questions you may have.